Hey everyone, this is Anarcho. I'm deciding to comment on a video made by um Anton Beatty about monopolies under anarcho-capitalism. He made some pretty good arguments about how the only reason why monopolies exist is because of the state, and I'm not going to argue that. However, he did leave out one important thing when mentioning how monopolies that exist in capitalism are easily distraught or broken up by the invention of new businesses due to the free market. He mentioned horizontal integration, local market integration, and natural monopoly. My apologies. But he forgot to leave out one important monopoly that is actually something that no matter what the free market does cannot be fixed. And that was made famous by the great Andrew Carnegie with vertical monopoly, which is, let's take his example, Andrew Carnegie's example with steel, because it's hard to make it with Anton Beatty's example of candle making. But let's say you and me owned a steel industry. Now, I could use Rockefeller's horizontal integration, which would basically be I buy you out, therefore I own a monopoly of that certain sector. But as you said, pretty much then your best friend could create a steel company. Now I don't no longer have a monopoly, unless of course I'm like Rockefeller, in which I'm rich enough to buy out every company that gets started anyway, which was something you also left out again, is that just because a company started doesn't necessarily mean the monopoly's broken. That's just a quick pause where either the other company gets bought out or, supply and demand comes in and competition is started. But with vertical monopoly, it's completely different. Let's say you and me own the steel industry, and I decided and I went for a vertical monopoly. Pretty much what that means is I buy out not you, not your company, but I buy out all the mines, all the workers, everything that would make steel. I buy out everything that would require um, a monopoly that are required for a company to function. I buy out pretty much everything that makes the materials to make my product, which I'm selling. And then with that, I can charge you to buy the materials for you to also make your product. Now, what that is, you can either pay me to keep in business, which is not also not profitable, but hindering the competition because you're giving me money to try to compete with me, or you go out of business, which would leave me the only steel company left, which is what Andrew Carnegie did, and let him be able to produce more steel than the UK alone. I mean, the thing about it is if a monopoly is started, that does not necessarily mean that just like because another company brings up that the monopoly will be broken. I mean, sure. I mean, in a local business perspective, when you use Walmart as an example, if another big box store came around, then wages would go up. Then that's understandable. But however, that doesn't mean that Walmart couldn't just simply buy out the store. I mean, if it's a big enough company, what's stopping it? If there's no regulation to make sure that if there's no Sherman Antitrust Act or anything, then that's the only regulation that should be required, is to make sure that trusts don't get started. Now, I understand what you're saying, that, letting the government have too much control is dangerous. However, you can't just completely say, "Oh, the free market will solve everything," because if one monopoly is started in one certain sector, then there is no capitalism. Then that sector is just run by that company. Now, this has been Anto, and I just decided to make it, food for your thought. Have a nice day.